In this demonstration, I will show you how to post a prepayment invoice for a sales order. So first, let me go to customers to set up a prepayment percentage for one of our customers. So I will take customer 20,000. And to set up a prepayment requirement for this customer, we can enter the percentage by, first of all, going to the Payments Fast tab. There we go. And entering the prepayment percentage. So let's take 30%. So this means that for every document that we now create, or every sales order, I should say, that we now create for this customer, Business Central will automatically include 30% as the prepayment percentage. So let me show you this by making a new example. I will create a new sales order for customer 20,000 tray research. There we go. So this customer now orders some items. Let me enter a number of units, for example 10. And let me now scroll down to the Prepayment Fast tab, because at the bottom of the sales order, notice that there is a Prepayment Fast tab, where you can now see that the prepayment percentage is copied from the customer card, so 30%. There are a number of other options that you can use, like compressing the prepayment. So if you enable this field, Business Central will combine sales order lines based on the general posting setup to combine them in one prepayment line. There's the prepayment payments term, the due date, and so on. So these are all the settings that Business Central will apply in this sales order. Now also notice that you can make any change. So if you want to increase or if you want to change the prepayment percentage, that's perfectly possible. Also very important to know is that Business Central will now copy the prepayment percentage to the lines. So there's also a prepayment percentage field on the sales lines, where we also now have 30%. All right, so there's now a prepayment requirement for this sales order, and that's also something that you will notice if you try to post the sales order. So if I go to post, you will see that we get an error message telling us that we first need to post the prepayment invoice. So that's the first or the only thing I now can do. So the next thing is, again, posting the prepayment invoice. So and that's something I can do by clicking on Actions, then Posting, Prepayment, and then select Post Prepayment Invoice. So the system will ask for confirmation, and there we go. And you will see now that the prepayment invoice is posted. Now this is something I would like to check. So I would like to have a look at the posted results. And that's something that we can do by clicking on Navigate, Prepayment, and then Prepayment Invoices. So now the system will show me a list of all the prepayment invoices for this sales order. And in this case, there is only one, of course. And then if you click, for example, on the number field, you can open the invoice card, and there you can now see the prepayment sales invoice. And so a very simple invoice based on the GL account that is set up in the general posting setup. But now, because the prepayment invoice is posted, we can now continue with processing the sales order. And by the way, if I would show you the status of the sales order by clicking on Show More on the General Fast tab, you can see now that the status is pending prepayment. And depending on the sales and receivables setup that we saw in one of the previous units, you can now possibly continue with processing the sales order by, for example, shipping the items to the customer.